Very good morning. So what we have seen in the last class we have seen the topic called optimization. So we are going. So we are in this past system operation control. So without knowing this term optimization, I think it's very difficult to understand the subject. Why? Because we are dealing with many objective functions, constraints. Okay, so you have to know what is optimization, and then what is objective function, then what is the constraints. If you know these terms correctly, then I think it's a very easy task for you to understand the subjects. Okay, so once again I'm just revising the topic today. So later on in the forthcoming classes, we will start with the actual class. So once again, I'm just recalling what we have discussed. So what is meant by optimization? So optimization. So without unknowingly, we are doing in our day-to-day life. Daily we are living our life very in a very optimized way. Okay, while getting up in the morning to going in the bed. So daily what we are doing is we are optimizing our speaking, whatever we are speaking, then optimizing our work. Okay, optimizing our work, whatever the work we are doing, what we are doing is we are always searching for a very easy easy task we are doing. Instead of going for a very complex work, what we are doing is we are going for a very easy task. Then another thing, the constraints, within that constraints. So for any work, there will be some constraints. There will be certain constraints. So based on that constraints, what we are doing is we are making our uh, we are making our work to do fast. Or okay, so any work we are alerting to us within some constraints. For example, I'm giving certain assignment to Ina. I'm also giving some time constraints. So you have to complete within 5 days or 1 week of time. So you have to complete that first assignment. Like that, I'm giving a yeah constraints. So what is the major objective function of that particular assignment? So you have to complete the task. So you have to complete that assignment. So what is your constraints? You have to complete within the time, within that period of time. That is called the constraints. So what is your objective function? To you have to complete the task. Okay, so you have to complete that whatever the topic I am giving, you have to search and you have to complete that task. That is the objective function. So time is the constraints. Okay, so like this, many works. If you take any work, say for example, going to nearby shop. Say your parents is telling to go to a nearby shop to buy some stationaries, to buy some provisions. Okay, so what we are doing is, so what is then what is our objective now? Our objective is to go to a nearby shop. What is the constraints? If we are very lazy, then we have to reach that shop within the very shortest time. And also we have to take that all the provisions, and also we have to reach our home within a certain period of time. Okay, so always what we'll do is we'll choose a shortest path to reach that particular shop. Okay, so we'll not go by road, or by road, and we'll reach that particular shop. Even it is very long, for 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer, we'll not reach that point. We'll reach that nearby shop within the very shortest path, while walking also, or by going by bicycle. We will reaching that particular thing, so that our work also will be reduced. Say for example, while coming inside the gate in our college, while coming inside the gate, what we are doing is, for reaching our block, we are choosing a very shortest path to reach our block. We are not going through that main block and again through cafeteria again. We are taking right and again we are coming to PG block. That is the sum of the long distance. It is not an optimal path. It is the not the optimal path. It is the farthest path to reach our block, reach our classroom. So that is also a thing. What is our constraints? We have to reach, while getting down from the bus, we have to reach that particular place within very short period of time. Within the very short period of time, we have to reach that particular class. Okay, that is our constraints. So within that, your constraints may be varied. Yeah, if you want to take Xerox, okay, photocopy. If you want to pay the fees, everything that is depends on individual. That is depends on individual. But generally speaking, this is our constraint. So generally, why I'm telling is always you have to reach within the optimal path, shortest path or optimal path in the sense. So while doing our power network analysis. So what like that power says from the sending end to receiving end. So it is choosing the optimal path to receive our place. Okay, so if you are choosing some other farthest path, farthest buses, so that the power also will be reaching that farthest again to our place means. So again, the power has to reach the sending end power has to reach that particular. Say for example, 30 kilometers it is going and again coming to our house means. Some losses might be occurred. Some 15 percentage or 20 percentage losses might be occurred. So whatever the power send at the sending it will be not receiving at the receiving end. So losses might be very more. That is the loss. That is the loss for their power transmission companies. Okay, state transmission companies or central transmission companies. So I'm going to tell this word like generation companies, transmission companies, and distribution companies. It is nothing but your generation sector, distribution, transmission sectors, and distribution sectors. So in the short form, sometime I'll be using the term called transcos, discos, gencos. Okay, gencos is nothing but generation companies, transcos is nothing but transmission companies, and discos is nothing but your distribution companies. Okay, so your transmission companies, that is the very huge loss for transmission companies. So generation, we are spending that much amount. Okay, not only a small amount, we are spending that much amount for generation, and we are transmitting that power. So the power get wasted. That is due to the losses. So again, it is reaching the our distribution sector, so that the losses, due to the losses, whatever the power we have sent, it is not reached by the, and also it is reaching the farthest place means again the losses might be increasing somewhat. So always the power has to reach, okay, if you see the transmission structure, okay, a grid map of our state or of our district, always it might be in the shortest path only. If you just do some calculation, so what is the distance between from that dispatch center to your nearby substation and to your home now? If you just check all the map, okay, there will be some grid map of your either your district or your state. Everything that is a grid map will be there. So in that, what are the transmission towers, poles, distribution transformers, okay, booster transformers, then substation, everything might be present in that grid map. Okay, so even sometimes in our street, in our area also, area map will be there. Area wise map, okay, transmission map will be there. So say for example, in our house, any like a fuse, any fuse problem due to some sudden rise in the short circuit in our appliances, the fuse problem. Now, what we'll do is we'll go to the we'll call to the customer care and we'll register a complaint the fuse gone in the pole itself, in our energy meter on the, or in our switchboard. We can easily go and replace that fuse. But if it is gone in the for towers, any problem like a wire is not connected properly, or wire got cut down due to the rainfall, or due to the heavy wind. So again, we need to make a complaint. So what your only what we are giving is, we are giving that you service connection number. Okay, in some other state it is called some UC number, UAN number, something like that. But certain numbers will be there for every connection. Some service connection number will be there. So what we are doing is, we are launching a complaint like in our home. The service connection number is this. In our home, the fuse is gone, or some problem in the tower, the wire is the connecting wire from the pole is got cut. Like that, we are launching a complaint. So how your lineman is finding the exact place of your service connection number is, he is having a one small map. Okay, he will always carry that map. In that map, almost it will be displaying like that last 2-digit numbers will be displaying in that particular map. What how many houses there in the particular area. So area wise, one lineman will be there now. So for that lineman, some 200 connection or 300 connection will be he will be the in charge for that particular connections. Okay, area wise. So that area lineman only will come to your house and he will rectify that fault. Okay, he will be having one small map. Okay, say for example, my last 2-digit number is 56. So 56, in which street it is there, in which house, that 56 service connection number will be there. Like that, he will be seeing that map. So that he will be reaching your particular house. Okay, he will not call to you, and he will not see. He will be seeing just that map only. So similarly, like that, power grid map also will be there. So in that, the transmission connections will everything will be matched. So that if you make a small calculation, always the transmission tower planning should be in the optimal path only. They will be choosing that particular thing. Okay, so it will be reaching that particular your house from either from your substation, or otherwise from load dispatch center to your substation and to your place. It might be your optimal path. Okay, instead of going for, say for example, from load dispatch center to your house is 35 kilometers. So normally while traveling by the road, so if you go for simple calculation of your transmission tower, it might be somewhat 5 kilometer will be less, or 2 kilometer will be this. So that is called the optimal path, optimal way. So every planning should be in optimal way. So why? Because for for reducing our cost. Okay, transmission tower cost. Okay, so even if you go for another 5 kilometers extra, means transmission tower cost, like transmission lines. Okay, that lines also you have to you have to plan for another 5 kilometers, and transmission poles you have to, then tower cost, then in between booster transformer, in between your pole mounted transformer, everything that cost might be increasing. And also the losses, as I said, the losses also might be increasing. So to avoid that, they might be going for the optimal path. Okay, optimal path. So some constraints might be for transmission companies. The constraints might be of your the cost. Okay, cost constraints. So you have to plan, say for example, they are planning for 35 kilometers or 40 kilometers, they have to plan within some optimized cost, least cost. Okay, if the cost might be increased like anything, then the transmission companies, they are not working very efficiently or optimally. They are not working. Okay, well, generally, while they are buying the conductor, how they will buy means they will buy in some certain kilometers. Okay, kilometers only they will buy in by buying that conductor length of the conductor. They have, say, for example, they will not make any cut in the transmission towers and all from your substation to your nearby last point of your transmission pole of that particular substation. If you once you can travel and see, that will be not any cut in the okay conductors. It will be passing throughout the last point of your point of the particular substation range. Okay, once if you want to verify also, you can travel from your nearby substation to your home, or what is the last point of that area, the substation area also you can travel and you can see. Okay, that will be very minimum cut only in the pole mounted transformer only. Some like for connecting that, they may be cutting, or otherwise if you see, it might be traveling even some 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, or 5 kilometers also it might be traveling. So why? Because to avoid that, yeah, I think you have studied in last year, like power system subject, like to avoid the corona loss, Palantir effect, everything. It is happening. If you are going for the conductor size and everything, you have to plan accordingly. Okay, so if you just simply cut that conductor and you're making a connection, so in that also some losses will come. That losses also will affect that substation. So whatever the sending and receiving end will be somewhat mismatching, and so many things are there. So so that you have to keep it in the mind always. This power and everything will be reaching the optimal path. Okay, optimal path. So every as I said, every product, if you take, if you want to design every product, that might be having some objective function and as well as the constraints. So objective function is like say for example, whatever the product you are going to manufacture, we are having certain calculations, right? As I said, certain calculation like weight constraints, then what is the size we are going to manufacture. Okay, so if you manufacture with all the components, whatever you wanted for that manufacturing that product, then automatically the size of the product might be increasing like anything. So meanwhile, if you are going for like a VLSI design, very large scale integration, okay, so with all the components like your capacitor, your inductor, everything you are going to manufacture within that like a PCB design, within that very large scale design, very sleek design, then your weight of the product might be very reducing, and many constraints also there, cost constraints, then size also one of the constraints. But if you go for solving that particular product, if you say for example, whatever the product you're going to discovering, or whatever the product you're going to manufacturing, definitely it is having some mathematical formulation is like the size, weight, everything added together is that product. Added together is that product. Okay, as I said, like a cool drink manufacturer company, what they will do is that definitely they will give the formula only for every so whichever the factories they are going to establish within certain areas and certain states and districts. So definitely what they will do is they will be giving only the formula to that particular company. If they want to start a new factory at certain areas, means they will be giving only formula. That formula consists of all your product color, then consistency, which consistency that thing has to be added, so that okay, so what amount of carbon dioxide has to be given to that particular product. So everything will be given in that formula. Okay, no need to ask everything through phone, or everything how many grams I need to keep for 1 liter of water, like that. Everything is comes under that formula itself. So if you read that formula, you can easily make that. So like that, similarly, like that, this is called objective function. So if you want to make that make any product, say for example a smartphone. So if you read that formula, what is the formula? All the constraints and all the objective, with all the objectives, and with all the constraints, there will be some objective function will be objective function. Like it consists of your everything, weight, size, then what a processor, then sensors, then the design, PCB layer design, everything. It might be comes in the battery, everything. It might become. So constraints is battery charging hours. How many hours that batteries can withstand. Then the cost. Okay, what is the cost of that particular product, so that you can manufacture? Because if you are manufacturing the product, that so your company asks you to do within 15,000 rupees, you are manufacturing it for 30,000 means, then it might be doubling the cost. Okay, you can manufacture also, but no one will buy your product. No one will, uh, because you himself going for 30,000 means, then how can we increase the sales of the product? Because the company itself want that product to manufacture only within 15,000 rupees. Okay, so that also one of the thing. So everything, as an engineer, you have to think in a very optimized way. Very optimized way. Say I said, like as a software engineer, what they are doing is while coding. Say for example, your friend is doing a say for example, you have to make a simple software, billing software or something like that. Simple software you want to make. Your friend is making the same software for within 200 lines, 2000 lines, whereas you are manufacturing the same software within 1000 lines. Same thing only. That same software also will be doing. Your friend also did the 2000 lines program. That also did the same work. But the thing is that that ROM size, that software you are giving, that size is that memory is increasing for your friend, but for you the memory is very less. Within 5 MB or 10 MB, you are um, going to do that the whole software within some only 1000 lines. Your friend is making for 40 MB software. Yours is only 10 MB software. 10 MB software. Your lines also very less. So which project they will select? If both of you are going to submit the project, which software they will select? Definitely, whatever you did only they will select. Why? Because you are a very optimized engineer, optimized software engineer. Like you're programmed for very shortest, lines are very less, and also your software size is very less compared to your friend. So definitely your project only will be selected. So definitely every company expect this thing only. Even say for example, you're giving a small update to your product, your apps is there, na? Android apps. So what they are doing is once in a while, 2 days once, 5 days once, they are going to giving the updates meanwhile. So in that updates, what they are doing is they are going to increase the features, some noise there. Say for example, in our Zoom, recently they given an update, some noise reduction, some disturbance reduction, some new features, some participants new features, some nowadays app features also they are giving. So apps also you can integrate within this the Zoom meeting. So many features they are updating. So update, while going for update also, it should be very very the memory should be very very less. Say for example 10 MB, 5 MB. Within 10 MB it's very good. So more than that, so if your update is 100 MB or 200 MB, means what they will do is someone they will not update the why, because it is going very large, like 100 MB or 200 MB update you are giving, means like they may think why we need to update this. This app is itself very good for using. So like that, in that point of view, in that way also they might be thinking. So whenever you're going to manufacture, you'll be always optimized all the things like the memory, then number of lines, but it has to do that particular job. That is very very important. Same job, but you have to think very very smart to attain that particular uh, job. Okay, smartly you have to work so that your every burden, every like everything will be reduced, and you will be rewarded definitely. If you are going with that sort of thing, definitely you will be rewarded, or definitely you will be in the very good position within some 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Like after 1 year, maybe if you are a very very optimized engineer, optimized software engineer, then definitely you will be getting some on-site project in very very shortest time. In very short time, you will be getting many projects. Okay, you'll be reaching that particular company in with greater heights in very shortest time. Okay, if you are doing like this, the you're a very normal engineer, you're a very common normal engineer, you're not thinking in that much way. Simply like that you are programming and giving the output, giving the thing like that, without considering all the this constraints, like how many lines we need to program, and without smartly you're working, then definitely the company will not accept you, even though your product is working, but your memory is very 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 high, and also a number of lines you programmed is very very high. Then definitely they might be thinking. Okay, and like games, nowadays many of you are playing some mobile games. In that also, while designing itself, you have to design very very smart. Your game size should be within 1 GB, means many of them will download and play your games, and your GUI, everything you are developing within very 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 like optimized way. And but the thing is that your objective should not change. Your constraints, you're making the constraints maybe like little bit. The company itself giving like 1 GB, you're making the same game, you're developing the same game within 800 MB, means definitely you'll be the winning in the market. Because definitely while going through if I am going to download a game in the app store, so what I'll be looking is, so definitely a memory I will be looking. So if the same game with this low memory and same work, same all the graphical user interface, everything it is going to work in my game also. So definitely I'll be choosing the game with less memory. It is only 800 MB, whereas some other games it is crossing 1 GB or some. Definitely I'll download that game only, because same features you are giving, same features you are developing this game with same features and same thing, then definitely I'll be downloading that app only. So like that, in every field, field, not only in software sector, in even in the either in the mechanical field, in the automobile manufacturing, in the electrical vehicle manufacturing, who is giving with a sleek design. The weight is very, very less. Okay, the e-bike, electric vehicle, e-bikes is very, very, the weight is very, very less. and battery charging time is more. Then the kilometer per charging time is very more. You're giving 200 kilometer per charging time for within less charging time, then definitely that product will only win that market. Okay, no one will succeed that particular product. So like that, every product you take like car manufacturing, like um, everything in this world, any product, they will be optimizing the design. Then only they are giving that into the market. Then only they can survive in the market, or otherwise whatever the product they are manufacturing also, that will be the loss for the particular company one.